Yeah, so at this point, I feel that Diddy is begging at this point. Okay, because once somebody tell you no on something, why do you continue to ask? When you continue to ask and they already made it clear which way they leaning, at that point you're begging. And that's what's going on, because Trump, everybody was speculating that Trump will possibly give Diddy a pardon. Okay, and that rumor has been going around for quite some time, and Trump never spoke on it or officially made a statement on it until last week, when he did an interview and he was asked about how he felt about Diddy and would he consider giving Diddy a pardon. And Trump basically said no. He said, based on, at one time they was, cool and good friends, and Diddy basically turned on him. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the things that Diddy said about Trump, but it wasn't good, okay? And so Trump ain't forgot that. And it was all surrounded, all the things that I've heard Diddy say about Trump that was negative was things surrounding Trump being president and during the election time or whatever. So, yeah, Trump ain't forgot, okay? So, Trump is, he basically said, it's really not in my radar, no. More than likely, no, I'm not considering a pardon for him. So, we finally got like an official answer, because no is no, right? Well, Nicole Westmoreland, which is one of the Diddy's attorneys, she did a interview with CNN, and they asked her about that situation, and she talked about how they reached out to the Trump administration once again, even after Trump already just said no last week. They still reaching out to Trump, and I feel like at this point they are desperate and they doing whatever they can. And it's like, the crazy part is, if you look at pictures and stuff of Diddy with Trump back in the day, you could tell, they was kind of cool. So Diddy made a huge mistake knowing that he was breaking the law and doing the things he was, and decided to go against Trump, not knowing that he would need this man right after. Okay? That's why it's not good to go run your mouth. Now look at you. Based on the things you said, you put your foot in your mouth because this man is not willing to give you a pardon. And he probably would have did it. I believe if Diddy would not have made those negative statements about Trump possibly would have got Diddy out of there. Okay? That's what I feel. But now it's like they begging at this point, because they were saying like 6 months ago, before trial even started, like 6 months ago, that Diddy was reaching out to Trump. And this was like right after Trump got, right into office. Diddy was reaching out trying to get Trump's help at that time. And that was when Trump was giving pardons out to people or whatever. Diddy was like, what about me? And, now he's back begging, because he got his lawyers, reaching out to, the White House, trying to get some answers, get some help. And I feel like if he said no, the answer is no, okay? But, I'm going to read this article of what happened with that CNN interview, so you guys could kind of get a drift of what went on. And I'm not going to read all of it, but I'm going to read what I consider is the important parts. It says, Nicole Westmoreland, a member of Sean Diddy Combs' all-star defense team, told CNN in an exclusive interview on Tuesday that the music mogul's team has reached out to the Trump administration about a potential pardon following his conviction on 2 charges of transportation to engage in adult activities. Y'all know what that is. Last month. It's my understanding that we've reached out and had conversations in reference to a pardon, Westmoreland said. Trump indicated that he was unlikely to pardon Combs during an interview with Newsmax last week, saying, I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great, and he seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well, but when I ran for office, he was very hostile. That's what Trump said. Trump added that this makes pardoning Combs more difficult to do. Asked of Combs' feelings about his chances of a pardon even after Trump's remarks, Westmoreland said this week that Combs is a very hopeful person, and I believe that he remains hopeful. When contacted by CNN, a White House official said they will not comment on the existence or non-existence of any clemency request. Okay, and then it go into talking about his charges and what he was acquitted of and things like that, and what the transportation for, you know what, carries, which we know it carries 10 years each for each charge, and nobody know how the judge is going to deal with that. But Diddy could get 20 years, he could get 10 years, 5 years, but he can get up to 20 years, so we don't know. But as of right now, it seemed like Diddy is extremely desperate to get out of this situation because the judge is not budging. They have requested bond more than once, several times, and the judge keeps saying no. I feel like this last time they did kind of like try to go in depth of the reasons why they feel Diddy should get out. Like, you could tell that they really came together and tried to come up with a plan to convince the judge to let Diddy out, because the letter that was sent to the judge was very detailed, including examples of other people in Diddy's situation and that faced similar charges that did not sit in jail. My thing is, those other cases that y'all referenced, was those people valid? Because see, that's the part that I feel, or it's not even what I feel, it's what the judge said. That's what messed Diddy up. Diddy is literally sitting in jail because of his violent behavior. His violent behavior is the reason why he's sitting in the jail cell right now. Because if it wasn't for that, I'm sure the judge probably would have gave him a pardon, because it wouldn't have been no other reason for you to hold him without, I mean, not a pardon, gave him a bond. It would have been no reason for you not to give him a bond, even though he still could have. It wouldn't have really been no reason. But they admitted throughout the trial, and I done said this 100 times, I'm sure you guys have heard people say this, they admitted throughout the trial that Diddy was violent. He just did not commit those other things that people was accusing him of, the witnesses was accusing him of, along with the fact the judge have to take into consideration all the victims that sent in letters expressing the fear they have of Diddy and things like that. And so even though he was acquitted, like I said, and I said this in my last video about Diddy, that you would think that the judge would not hold those charges against him, considering he was acquitted of those charges, but the judge still have a right to take the testimony of those witnesses into consideration when holding Diddy, deciding if he gonna give him a bond, and for sentencing. So it's really not looking good for Diddy. He got one or two choices to get out of there, and that's either the judge give him a bond or allow him to bond out, or Trump pardon him. That's it. And I guess he like, we done worked on the judge and the judge ain't budging, let's try to go back over here. It's like he going back and forth like any, mini, mighty, mo at this point. And everything in this video is alleged. But yeah, Westmoreland, she said that he hopeful, and he got a lot of hope, because he's not stopping, and I got a feeling he's not done. He's going to try to do everything he can to get out of there. But yeah, he made a mistake when he crossed Trump the way he did, and I'm wondering why he did that, because it seemed like you was cool with him for quite some time. If you look at the images, and you know, their relationship goes back for years. And I've seen interviews of some of Diddy's security guards who talked about how Diddy used to go and meet up with Trump in his office and chill with him for hours, and they would sit there and talk. He didn't know what they was talking about, of course, but Diddy would go visit him and sit with him, and you know, and so like, I don't know what went wrong, but Trump not trying to hear it, it don't seem like, because if he was going to get him out, I feel like he would have already done that. Or what Trump could be doing, because I'm not going to count that out all the way just yet. I feel like it's a possibility. It's a slim chance, but it's a possibility Trump could still give Diddy a pardon. I feel like what's going to happen, since you crossed me and you talked mess about me, I'm going to make you sit. I'm going to let you go through sentencing and everything. I'm going to make you sit for a while. I'm going to make you think that I'm not going to do it. That way you know not to ever play with me or cross me again. So that could be the case. I don't know. I really don't know. And I hear people saying, well, because Trump had a personal relationship or friendship or whatever you want to call it with Diddy, it's kind of against the law, or it is against the law for him to give Diddy a pardon. Since when? Because didn't Biden get his son out? That ain't a conflict of interest. I'm just saying. So I don't think that would be an issue. Because this is not the first time this happened. If that's the case, we need to be questioning a lot of. We can question stuff. We see crazy stuff happen all the time. These people do what they want to do, and honey, they don't follow the law. The law only is important when it comes to everybody else but them. So whatever. But at this point, yeah, that's why I said Diddy lawyers are begging. That's a strong word to use. But when somebody tell you no, and you continue to keep on asking, you're begging at this point, and you're desperate. So I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on with this situation. I'm sure he's going to continue to beg. He's still going to keep finding ways. He already had Gina come with her letter last week, and he's just trying everything. He's pulling every trick out the hat, trying to find a way to get out of that jail cell, and it don't seem like it's working out in his favor, okay? Because everything that he's trying is not working. And yeah, it's not looking good. I don't know what to tell him. I don't know what to tell him. It's not funny, but I'm just saying, like, what are you doing? You might as well sit there. Then, he's complaining about the prison conditions. Who you think you is? You're nobody special. Do you know how many people have to deal with those conditions that broke the law? What make you think you're above the law? See, that's why you in there now, because you think that you're above the law, and you're not. You think you're supposed to get out of jail just because of the conditions of the prison? No, it don't work that way. You're not in paradise. You're in jail. Okay? So I don't know, y'all. Everything in this video is alleged again. I don't know. Tell me what y'all think in the comments. Do y'all think that Trump will eventually budge? During that interview, she did say that she reached out to Trump administration, and she wasn't really clear about, like, did she hear anything, or if there was a conversation that was had between her and those officials. The interviewer did ask Westmoreland, it's a difference between reaching out and having a conversation. Did you have a conversation? And she wasn't clear about that. So I don't know. Tell me if you guys think Trump will budge. I feel like he's not. But if he do, he's going to make Diddy sick and regret opening his mouth about the things he said about him, okay? So tell me what y'all think. I'm out. Bye, y'all.